Hey everyone, thanks for joining me and my buddy Graham here. We're going to be talking about a media advocacy campaign plan that is basically advocating for trans individuals being able to join the military. This would be like a blog type campaign, so that would entail setting up a blog that would include links to outside social media websites such as Facebook, Reddit, Instagram, and Twitter, so people could share it to other social media platforms. The blog would consist of stories from individuals who identify as trans, who have experience actually being in the military, serving in the military, either openly as their identified gender or in the closet, as they have to now as their biological sex. And stories of people who have had other experiences like this, like maybe they had a superior or a subordinate that was part of the trans community, and there was some bureaucratic things that they had to go through where they wanted to support this person, but they weren't able to in the military because of the bureaucracy that creates barriers for that. So there would also be regular requests for people to come out and share their stories, either through like a guest blog post or doing an interview with the blogger. And included in those blog posts would be links to maybe YouTube videos or other things that individual is doing outside of that, working towards that policy. So if they're doing anything outside of that blog that is advocating for that policy, there would be links to that and to fundraisers and stuff like that. And there would also be regular blog posts that are basically a call to action for people to reach out to their legislators and local politicians and see what they can do to help advocate for this policy to be changed, what they can do on their own, or groups that they can get connected with. There would be a place for people to leave comments. There would also be a place for people to subscribe to the blog. And there would be content that you wouldn't normally get if you weren't subscribed, so that would create incentive to subscribe to the blog. It would also create incentive to share the blog with other people. If you're engaging in it more regularly, you're more likely to share something that you find interesting or new. I think this type of e-advocacy campaign will be effective because it cuts across all or most social media platforms and websites that people use to get their information. It'll be especially effective due to the environment that people in the military have, such as if they're deployed or living overseas. A lot of times military members, military families don't have access to cable channels like Fox News and CNN. If they live overseas, they only have what either that country's television channels, or they have a options on base that are like the local TV basically that is created on that military installation. So a lot of people that live overseas or deployed get their information from online. This will allow other military members to get a more personal look into how this policy affects the military itself and how it affects other individuals who may have the same values as them. I think it's really important to reach out to the military community with this advocacy campaign because there are statistics that veterans are more supportive of Trump administration policies, such as this trans military ban. And I think it would be good to get some more perspective in that community, because a lot of times they're getting military news, which is going to be very biased in some aspects towards military policies and towards government policies. So I think being able to expose others to different perspectives, especially perspectives that are couched in the military community, but also having a different experience from themselves, can be really important. I think being able to reach that target versus the people that are already on board with allowing trans individuals to serve in the military, it'll increase the impact of the advocacy, basically. So that is my plan. I hope that makes sense. And thanks for listening.